Most dementia residents and dementia units have difficulty with verbal communication, but it can be worked on and activated with sufficient support, with education and with group engagement. Where I work, there are about half that could communicate some of the time, but with encouragement and fill-in support, that level of communication increased. So it is important when communicating with dementia residents that you speak slowly, use simple language or straightforward language. It's best to communicate about one idea at a time, and once you've communicated that, give them time to think about it, understand and absorb it. That's important. And then giving them time again to communicate back to you what it is they would like to say. Because the thing is, if they feel rushed, they'll just shut down. Because they have so many difficulties with dementia and with scrambled thinking, etc., it takes some time for them to be able to focus and concentrate and get it together to A, be able to understand what you've said, and B, to be able to communicate in response. So they need to feel that they've got the time to do that. They need to feel that you're there for them, that you're supporting them, and that you're interested to hear what it is that they have to say. That is also an important thing. So you need to be very much in the present moment, relaxed yourself, and be ready to listen and empathetic with that person, and be ready to listen, absorb and learn yourself, in fact, from what the dementia resident has to say. But what I found in the workshops that I did at the dementia unit for many years was that all of these aspects I've just mentioned are really important, but the big thing really at the end of the day to encourage someone to speak was that they had to want to speak, and they would only want to speak when they had something interesting to say because they were interested in the topic at hand. That was the key thing, getting the interest, involvement and engagement so the person then wanted to communicate. Because if it's just mundane day to day, then there's no motivation to speak, just everything same old, same old. But if it's a really interesting topic and the person has started to think things through, then they'll be motivated to want to say something. For example, there was one lady at the unit where I worked. She was great, poor speech, but she was animated, strong, physically strong, fit, independent, and she had a very positive attitude. But her memory was appalling and her speech wasn't good. But she came to the workshop. She was a real trier, a real effort maker. She used to think and study and listen. She wanted to learn. She wanted to progress. And she did. She actually did. Her speech really improved. And one way in which it improved was that, firstly, she loved anything to do with positive. Being positive was very important. Her grandmother had always said to her that she's got to be positive. So for her, she was always saying, when you get old, you have to be positive because it's very easy to get grumpy. So she was the big advocate of positivity, but also she was very social in the sense that she did care about the new residents coming in. She knew the demands and difficulties and stress of what it's like coming into a dementia unit, and she wanted to help them because she was kind and social. So when we had this workshop on helping the new residents that were coming into the dementia unit, she was really intent on listening. She really wanted to say something. And so we had a few workshops on this. It was a very important topic, how to help the new people coming into the dementia unit. And she focused hard, and it probably took her 2 or 3 months. And at the end of that, when the new residents were coming in, she was really supportive and she was able to communicate to them what it was she wanted to say, to encourage them, to help them adjust to being in the unit. So much better coming from a dementia resident than a staff member or a relative. how it is being in the unit and being helped by being given information about the positive points of being in the unit, like all the cooking's done for you. That was a big one. You don't have to do any housework. That's another one. Everything's looked after. All the cleaning's done. But go on like this. And by the time the new resident had received all this positive information of what it's like living in this hotel, which they called a nursing home, they were not exactly enamoured with the place, but their stress had certainly settled, or at least they were being given a different perspective, seeing the other side of the coin. And they were, it helped. It did help. Definitely it helped. And also they were making friends into the bargain in the process. So I've written about these topics in The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise companion books, good reading, on Amazon in the description below. So thank you for your everything, for your looks, likes, comments. It's fantastic. The platform up and running. Thank you so much.